So we talked earlier about hurricane straps and roof-to-wall connections. Can you talk a little bit about how these hurricane straps can actually help a homeowner qualify for better carriers or better policy options, cheaper rates, better coverage, and not just lower the pricing? Like what world does a homeowner get into of better insurance coverage where you might have AA, AAA, whatever, versus like some of those BCs carriers?
Right. Even within the A carriers, A-rated carriers, there's a big difference between them. You know, straps, I think, do help better than clips or toenails. But it's like with the better carriers, I would say sometimes they offer more, and it could be just price.
Okay.
But it could be maybe there's other things that come along with it. So like on your citizens policy, you can only get 100,000 personal liability.
Okay.
But the other carriers, you could do maybe 500,000 in personal liability.
Okay.
There's other perks possibly that are in there. They like it better price-wise is the main driver.
Okay.
With the straps and the double wraps.
But are there some insurance carriers that won't touch homes that don't have a certain level of straps?
I haven't come across that yet.
Okay.
Doesn't mean it won't happen.
Or like, let's just say like...
It's pretty standard.
So let's just say like, will a carrier not touch me if I have toenails or clips?
No.
Oh, so, okay. So it would not... So having straps would not open the door to more carriers. It's pretty much just like price and ratings that we'll get, price savings, etc. Okay.
But there's more into that. It's kind of crazy because we're talking about, if we go back to the wind mitigation part of it, the hurricane protection, there are some carriers that whether you're like 5 miles or 1,000 feet from the coastline, if it doesn't have hurricane protection, they won't touch you.
Okay. So there are some carriers that if you don't have that FBC, meaning the hurricane straps, they won't even touch you or consider you.
Well, no, the hurricane windows and doors.
Okay, no, we're talking about straps.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying there's some carriers that do like that. They'll if you don't have a certain thing on your house, such as a hurricane windows and doors, they won't insure you if you're on the beach.
Okay.
But I've not come across something whether it has clips, toenails, or straps.
So
price.
So going back to that specifically, so what about will insurance carrier, okay, if you have a house on the beach, coastal, that has shutters, will they take you, or like it's impact windows or nothing?
Nope. It's all about compliance.
Okay.
It's rated. It's rated, whether it's windows or shutters.
Got it. So just going on that topic now, in regards to impact windows versus shutters, for us as a window company, impact window and door company, I guess one of the hardest things is the fact that, as far as I'm concerned, and I know that if you as a homeowner upgrade to impact windows and you currently have shutters and you currently have opening protection on all the openings in your home, there's no additional insurance savings for impact windows. Is that accurate? That's correct. And by having impact windows, does that open the door to any additional carriers versus just having shutters?
No.
It does not. So there's no insurance benefit. Unfortunately, it drives me insane. Can we talk to the insurance companies?
But we talked about it before.
Of
you know what I
course,
mean? It's like, there's a lot that goes into it, like putting the shutters.
Of course. No,
think about a two-story. You have a lot of two-stories around here.
So I actually grew up in a 2-story house after my parents split up. And we had the shutters, the panel shutters that were stored in the garage. You had to wear special gloves. If not, it would tear up your hands. It was filled with bugs and lizards and whatever else was in the garage in that area that was, gave them a nice home. Snakes. We didn't really see too many snakes, but I would have to go and drag those panels to the backyard. Of course, I waited to the last minute, like literally we're inside. Warning is 36 hours. Watch is 36 hours. Warning is 24, I believe. Yeah. So I'm on a ladder. It's windy outside. I'm holding this, couple foot panel, and it's very dangerous. So yeah, obviously, if you're on vacation, if you have a rental home, you have tenants. The tenants might not care about your property. So yeah, I mean, there's energy efficiencies, aesthetics, burglar proofing your house. There's a lot of benefits. It's just unfortunate that with insurance companies, they're not offering any additional benefits to homeowners by making that upgrade.
And actually, one of the things that the owner would have to be careful about, which a lot of people don't think about, is the liability exposure that you have. with shutters, and especially what you were just talking about, the panel shutters, because it doesn't matter if it's panel or accordion or shutters, but say there's a hurricane coming, like you said, there's a watch, there's a warning, and you are not handy, and you hire somebody to come on your property and shut your shutters or put your shutters up. Okay. What if they get hurt?
Interesting.
And they get hurt severely. Maybe you supplied them the ladder and the ladder broke. It's your fault.
Interesting.
Right? And you're going to get sued. This is a sue happy society.
Absolutely.
So do you really want to also have that on top of everything else that, you're not home, or, you can't do it yourself or whatever, but nobody thinks about that liability portion. What if somebody got hurt? Because people have gotten hurt.
Oh, absolutely.
It's been in the news quite severely.
So it was interesting. I talked to a workers' comp attorney, and I was just curious about the same thing. Like, what happens if you hire a worker to come to your house and he gets injured? Are you as a homeowner liable? So as a contractor, okay, so for insurance, for your agency, you can have up to X amount of employees. I think it's like 4 or 10 employees before you have to have workers' comp insurance.
Right, 4.
For a construction company, first employee, you have to have.
It's different.
Anybody that does not have ownership, at least 10% ownership in the company,
right,
have to have workers' comp insurance.
Right.
So I was talking to this personal injury attorney, and I'm curious, like, what liability do homeowners carry for, hiring a handyman? They get hurt in their house. As long as you are hiring somebody, from what they told me and what I remember, as long as you're hiring somebody to do work in your house and they hurt themselves while doing that job, you're not responsible. But if they use your ladder and they fall, even if the ladder is perfectly fine, because you provided, I don't know the technical terms, but because you provided them with something and they fell, or you now become liable. Right. So that would be interesting to talk about.
Generally, liability claims are due to your negligence.
Right.
Like, I even tell people, okay, so you have a guest come over, because they're like, what do I need that for? Or like the med pay, which med pay is like $1,000 or a couple thousand, $5,000. Okay. Then you have your personal liability, which is like $300,000. So they come into your house for a dinner, and you had a painting up, like a little painting in the kitchen or whatever, and you took it down, and the nail was sticking out. And then they rub up against it, and they cut themselves pretty good, and they have to go to the emergency clinic and get a couple stitches. Stitch costs $1,000. Right? But that's due to your negligence. Of course, your med pay could probably pick that up, other than getting sued. But yeah, they're on your property. Right. And there was a tree that was there, and now it's just a big hole because the tree came out and you never refilled it. And
break their ankle.
Whatever. And that's happened. I had a customer, the renter tripped on a root, broke their ankle, and sued them.
Wow.
Anybody can sue you.
Does that does that owner's name rhyme with Morolnik?
Yes.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
So that's an accurate story. They're writing a story. But it's like your negligence, exactly. And but still, they can still pursue you in some sort of way, I'm sure. Right. And I don't want to be responsible for that.
Yeah, and one thing that I've learned, we actually haven't ever had to go to court, but one thing I've learned from talking to other people and just my experience in the industry is that a party does not need a solid reason in order to attempt a lawsuit or to file a lawsuit. There's frivolous lawsuits. They can say whatever they want and file a lawsuit. Even if you're 100% in the right or you feel like you're in the right, you can still get sued, right? Which is crazy.
And you have to defend yourself, and that's where insurance comes in.
Exactly.
If you have a policy, unless it's like some sort of crazy case that they wouldn't cover, you have a natural defense in there as well. Right. You're paying for a lawyer. Somebody's suing you, or, whether it's auto or home, and you have a lawyer built in. Whether they can handle it or not, it depends on the circumstances, obviously. Right. But, there's that built into it. But yeah, going back to the shutters versus the windows, it's all about risk reduction. If you got the credit, you have the credit, but still, there's so much advantage to having impact windows.
Oh, so going back real quick, and then we'll change subjects. That personal injury attorney told me that if you hire a handyman to come into your house, if they're doing the job that you hired them for, you're protected. Yeah. And that's their responsibility. However, if you call a handyman or a uninsured a construction company, and they come to your house to look at the job to give you a price, and they trip and they fall, you can get sued for that. So if they're doing the work that you hired them for, they can't necessarily sue you, or they don't have a solid case. But if they come to your house to look at the job, you haven't actually hired them for anything
Right.
under contract, they hurt themselves, they can
Right.
actually sue you,
Right.
and you can be
Wow,
liable.
it's crazy.
So that and I think you might know that partner
Yeah.
in that law firm. The last thing I'll ask you about the roof to wall connection. For example, my house, we have a pitched roof, and then I added a nice covered patio. As you know, it's super hot in Miami. What a lot of people don't consider is, and I would assume, and I'd like you to confirm, is that my house, before I did the roof and before I upgraded the straps, we actually had clips. So I got the insurance benefit of, switching over to straps. However, what a lot of people don't consider is a lot of additions, a lot of renovations have happened in the home that they're potentially buying. And the insurance company is not going to give you credit for the higher level of protection. They're going to take away credits for the lowest level of protection. So if one section of my house has straps, but the other side has toenails or clips, I'm not going to get any credit for the straps. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the other thing about like flat roofs and stuff like that,
Uh-huh.
obviously you're not going to get any credits because there's no attic to get into. And then just a thought too is I had somebody remodel their house
Mhm.
and then call me for inspection so they could, they got the roof, they got everything done. Somebody walled up the attic access.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. So I said, that's your, that's going to have to be, what do you want to do? You either get no credits
Right.
or you get in that attic some way.
Yeah.
That's your
Got it.
choice.
But one way or another, it needs to be inspected if you want the credit.
If you want the credits.
Right. So is
Exactly.
a couple $100 drywall repair worth thousands
Right.
per year you'd be saving? And the
Yeah,
answer
and
is
it's
absolutely.
funny. A lot of people go, why do I have to do that? It's my
Yeah, it's not your decision.
idea. It's not
Right.
my decision. And sometimes even when it's in writing,
Uh-huh.
and it's like they want to argue about it, which is fine. I would rather change it from argue to just questions.
Right.
But I've had some people tell, they're just like, well, I don't think we need a 4-point because I have really good, tenants and they're really sweet people and I don't want to bother them.
Yeah.
I'll pay more for not having it.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Right. Well, it doesn't make sense. So.
Or actually, I can do that, but you can't get insurance.
Right.
That's one of those non-negotiables.
So will you say in regards to roofing, when it comes to credits, that the roof to wall connections are the biggest driver or one of the biggest drivers in regards to credits and reductions in insurance?
The FBC, toenails does not help. It's the worst.
Okay.
That's just like saying unknown. And hurricane protection.
Okay.
Those are the 3 drivers there.
Big 3. Once again, this is another example where a structural detail that a lot of homeowners don't think about can actually have a real impact on both protection for their home and insurability and insurance savings as well.